Hi, my name's Rebecca Piper. I'm here today talking to Mike Lauder, who's recently completed his DBA with the Centre for Business Performance at Cranfield School of Management. Mike, can you tell us a little bit more about your research in risk management?
I started with the question, what would I do differently if I knew what was in the literature? And therefore I did a survey of the academic literature in 8 different fields that are related to risk management. And from that I extracted over 250 ideas, which I then grouped into 24 categories, which finally I turned into 24 questions that could be used by those people to prompt them into asking the appropriate questions to discover what was going on prior to accidents.
And who will your research be applicable to?
My research is aimed at the board level of corporations. That is both the executive and the members of any supervisory board, and especially I have targeted the work at non-executive directors.
Are there any other significant outcomes from your research that you'd like to talk about today?
Yes, as part of the process I discovered that there were a number of other facets that I needed to understand more clearly before I could conclude my research, and this is in line with the scholarship of application, where in trying to apply academic knowledge you then get a greater understanding of them. I came across 3 particular areas. One is the question of what is risk. The second is how you look at risk and discuss it. And the third is the data or key risk indicators and their use. From the first area, rather than try to define my risk as one single thing, what I did was to produce a framework which allowed people to discuss risk, to put all the other definitions into, and create what is known as a coherent whole. So they could put any definition that they were faced with into the overall picture, and therefore allow them to discuss what are we talking about. The second thing I looked at was based on the idea that seeing is also a way of not seeing. That is, because of the way you look at a particular subject, there will be things that you exclude from your discussions or consideration. And it's by making sure people are aware of what we call paradigms, the paradigm in which they are working, that they can be clearer about what is included, what is assumed, and what is being excluded from the discussion. So in your discussions of risk, you are therefore far more conscious of what am I not talking about, which I need to, which may have an important effect on the outcome. The final item was key risk indicators. I looked at what key risk indicators actually did, how they were used, to discuss whether they detected the issue of an emergent risk. I discovered that they did not. They were more about the performance indicators of risk mitigation barriers. Therefore, it raised the question, what data are the executive getting that will allow them to identify emergent risks within their organisation? Therefore, these 3 areas all developed new ways of thinking about the subject of risk at the governance level.
That's really interesting. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for your time today.